Hey guys, welcome back to now the 9th and final round for my June Regionals run. I'm currently at 5-3 at the moment, so I've got to win the next one to secure my top 64 spot. But this is my first green match of the day, and I was worried only because of this card here, the Basil Hawkins card, which is a 6 power, 7,000. 6 cost, 7,000 power, and when you try to remove it, it can tap your leader or your characters through effects. So you need to either kill it by combat, or you need to kill it twice with effects, essentially, because that effects are only happen once per turn, so it's pretty hard. So did dice roll there. I got to go second. And then just doing my split there. My opponent's just checking this phone. So I just told my opponent cut in half. I'm pretty lazy, done by this point. So opponent's going first, and I'm mulligan. Again, you're hard looking for the stage. The stage is such a crucial card in the deck. It just makes things a lot smoother. It's not impossible. Like all things shouldn't be impossible if you don't see a singular card in your deck, but it does make things a bit easier to KO things. And just doing my 5 there. Make sure my opponent can see. I think I need different coloured sleeves to pop a bit easier on the map. You can see them fine, but they look nicer if you have totally different colours. So opponent plays the Bonnie, activates next turn. My 2 don't do, and I do nothing. He searches for another Bonnie. Good for him. Swing 5, I take. Plays a baby, and he's looking for a Dofi. I think that's pretty much what they're looking for. So he picks up a Rosinante there. I am worried about that card because when that Rosinante is on the field, I think it can't. 5 cost or less. No, 5 cost exactly cards can't be KO'd. So swing 5 into the baby 5, so you can't look for another Dofi. And then I pay 4. Play Rebecca, grab a book, and then I play the Brook and I KO that. So very happy there. I get to KO 2 things, put a blocker up there and put an attacker on the field. Very strong play. So he plays Cavendish. He swings 6 Brook and I block with the Rebecca. And keep it up, because if I can neg it, then the Cavendish will die pretty quickly. So not overall terrible plays on both sides. So this is me just deciding what I should do. This is me doing counting. I think I'm just counting to see. Just play Sabo. So I think I'm setting up my next play only because I do have 8 next turn, and so this is me setting up. Something I realized that I don't make use of at all is that I have a neg 1 cost inbuilt into the Brook. I never really use it. I always only use it for the attack trigger. So I think moving forward, I'll need to keep note to myself that I can use that Brook as a neg 1, and sometimes that might just be the right play just to push me over the edge. So the opponent plays a carrot, and it's sort of like a what do you call it? A Uroge, where it's just, let's see. So the opponent swings 7 lead, and I'm contemplating whether I take here or not. I am worried about his future potential big swings. I think if I know that I can definitely clear board, I just instantly take next turn. So he stands a Don there, and I know something's going to be rested at the end of the day. So got my 8 done up. So perfect time for a Gecko play. Let's see what I decide to do though. So ask my opponent how many cards he has in hand. I think if I have a Sabo here, it's definitely perfect because I can swing 5 into the Bonnie. What am I doing? So swing 5 into body, leader effect. Minus the carrot. Rest the Brook. And then what do I do here? Ooh, I swing 6 into Cavendish here. My opponent lets that go, so that's pretty good for me. If he lets it go, it means he's probably bricked up. in that sense. So looking pretty good for me that the the Cavendish went straight away. So Sabo, trash that, and then I KO the carrot. So I am just that one turn, because my opponent let that go, definitely tells me that he doesn't have any counters in hand. But and then so my opponent there is playing the Resonante, swing 6, 7 into Brook. I think I just let that go. I think I must have a lot of counter in hand if I'm contemplating this one. So I can't KO active 5-cost characters there. So I think I'm just gonna next turn maybe just swing big into that Resonante and then KO it after. Let's see what I do. If I have a lot of 2Ks in hand, maybe I just keep it, but there we go. I let it die. Opponent passes, I draw, now I'm on 10. 5 cards in hand. I must have an E-show in hand if I'm asking questions like that. Maybe it would have been a play if I swing 5 to lead and see what my opponent does with my leader. If my opponent does take there, then I definitely play the E-show and I strip 2 cards, put 2 onto Resonante, into my sideboard and swing into the Resonante. I think if I had that probably would have been the right play to do. Yeah, this is all just hindsight as far as things go. I'm just checking the Resonante 8 cost, but I think I'm at this point late. I'm like pretty tunnel vision into what to do. But swing 6 into lead, and then a -1 on the Resonante. I think my opponent does counter it, so yeah, rest the big sideboard, and then he does that. Oh, there we go. That makes sense as to why I didn't do that, because of a bit. So neg, and then here play Gecko Moria. Use the brand new, grab an Ice Age. So it's not good for my opponent to see off that brand new that I grabbed another Ice Age, just telling me that I could do the ability again. But yeah, I figured that killing the Resonante was definitely the better play than getting Cavendish. Sure enough, my opponent gets 2 extra done per turn. 5 lead. I think I should just block here with the Sabo, which I do. And then, yeah, he does that. He plays big. And then they don't tap. It's just double checking. And then my opponent chooses not to swing with the Cavendish for whatever reason. I don't know why he chose not to swing with the Cavendish. I think it was a misplay on his behalf. Maybe he doesn't want to give me extra cards or something. But I think he definitely should swing, or at least swing into the brand new or something. I think he could have done that, but it's his choice, I suppose. So swing 6 lead, swing 9 to lead. This is me just putting pressure on. Play Suru, neg cost the Cavendish, Ice Age, neg cost the Dofi, and then I play Sabo. Isha there. So Isha's kind of dead at this point in time. So my opponent knows I don't have the thing there, but yeah, so here we go. 5 lead, I take. Plays it on Dofi. And the other side. So he's blocking down my blocker because I think he's wanting to swing as much as he can. I still have 3 swingers up, so it's pretty good for me there, but I definitely think my opponent's in dire straits here, only having the one Dofi on the field, especially considering I'm in black and I can KO stuff pretty easily. But there's me just setting up what cards I want to put away with, I think Lucci. But I'm just making sure that I can get down. But as you can see here, playing without the stage, so things have been manageable. I did have to waste that Suru, but I have managed just fine. So here's me setting up my Dawn. If I'm separating out that, I must be playing a Rebecca and a Rabucci. I think that's what I am doing, actually. So let's see. So we're going to 4, 4, and 2. So 7 leader. And opponent takes 8 leader. 9 leader. Play stage. Back on top of Roblochi. I'm gonna grab a Sabo. I think that was a mistake there. So even though that brownie did grab me a Ice Age, it definitely it gave my opponent one less good target to attack. So he swings 5 into the brand new, and here I'm just contemplating what I do. So I counter with a Tashigi. Yeah. So my opponent swung 5 into brand new, and I just gave him a 2k, and then I realized that, like, oh crap! Wait a minute. I actually need to counter out more. So I actually definitely overcommitted on that brand new there. Definitely put everything in a spin for my opponent there, which he definitely would have been confused. Just because now he's going to swing that big dopey somewhere, and I think he was hoping that I would either let it go or block with the what do you call it? The Rebecca there. But does 10 league, and then he plays another dopey, which is pretty crazy, and then so he's got 9 cards in hand, and so I was contemplating at this point just swinging for game, but I understand that if I don't win at this point, my opponent can swing 10-10 and then a 15, which is definitely not going to be good. 10-10 and a 15 there. So I play it safe, and I swing with the lead, and I swing with the brand new, and then I put up a blocker. So 6 into lead, 7 into lead. So he counters that with 3 cards there. Play Sabo, draw 2, trash 2. So here at this point I just trash out all my non-counters, and then that way my opponent knows that I definitely have 2Ks in hand, and so he's got to do the maths on that, where I can potentially get out of all the swings here. But putting that Sabo down definitely saved me, because then he can choose to swing what, a 10, and then he can split it into an 11 and then a 15, 11 and a 13, sorry, and I would have died. But he goes 5, so I block. So it's 10 into the blocker dies, into the gecko. But I think it was a mistake on my behalf, just letting him do that. I definitely had counter in hand that I could have kept that up. Could have kept one of them up there. That's my mistake there. But I think I just go, nah, screw it. Because he did go 3 counters and he only drew 1 card, I just went 13 straight into lead. So I did. But yeah, got me to secure that. I went 6-3 for the event, and I'm quite happy with my results. Obviously some gameplay stuff. So here's my deck list. I went pretty crazy with changes to the deck list, where the night before I was running a Cypher Pole build, and that ran over the whole Cypher Pole version, but when I was playing it, I definitely think that it just wasn't working out well enough for me, and so I changed to the Navy version. And literally the only reason why I changed to the Navy version was so that I could play 1 more Helmeppo, and I could play Ice Ages and Ishos, which I think is fair. This version of the build definitely lets me go into the field a bit easier. I still struggle heavily with Perona, and I have no doubts that the Cypher Pole version definitely does better into black, but this deck here, this version, I think goes better into the field. I do love my tech pieces, like the 6 cost Brook. It definitely helped me out in a couple of games, and I'm testing out different tech pieces now to give a chance into different matchups. But thanks guys for watching the videos, and hope to see you next time.